So, China Rising. We don't really know much about this DLC other than the fact that it takes place across the vast and majestic Chinese mainland. That's pretty much all we've seen based off gameplay. And don't expect a large suppository of information in this commentary. Necessarily, the China Rising trophies for the PlayStation Network have been revealed on the PSN profiles. Not necessarily leaked or anything, but they have been revealed. Now before we start talking about what little has been revealed in these expansion pack trophies, I just wanted to go ahead and point out that all Battlefield 4 DLCs will be made or produced in the DICE Los Angeles studios. Generally because DICE in Stockholm or DICE HQ has a lot of games to really develop for the time to come, which is why we're not seeing a Bad Company 3 in the next 2 years. They basically have the games that they have to work on right now is currently Star Wars Battlefront 3 and Mirror's Edge 2. Now, there is one more game to that plate, but they're not really making it, they are helping develop it, and that's Mass Effect 4, I believe, or whatever they're going to call that specific Mass Effect. It is going to be wrapped around the Frostbite 3 engine, so they're pushing off the Battlefield 4 DLCs to the new DICE division over in Los Angeles, and if you didn't know this, I found this out in June, that the DICE Los Angeles team is actually made up of a lot of members from the former Danger Close team after their horrific disaster of the game they called Medal of Honor Warfighter, which I actually thought it was pretty good, but left a really bad taste in the mouths of reviewers. So with all of that having been said, one of the first and more noticeable trophies should be the Mini Kamikaze, which basically states that you need to kill an enemy with the SUAV. Now the SUAV, or the RQ-11's as it was called in Medal of Honor Warfighter, was basically a UAV that could personally scan sectors for you or certain portions of the area to show you where your enemies were. Now, necessarily I guess the reason of how this could be useful is if you have a terrible ass commander, you could actually provide for yourself when it comes to personal UAV scannings in your own AO, protecting you and your squad mates. So, besides Mini Kamikaze, we have another trophy that's called Two Wheels, which basically states that you need to get a kill with a dirt bike. So this kind of confirming that dirt bikes are making a return from Battlefield 3 into Battlefield 4. Some people say they should have been in the Battlefield 3 in the first place, but it could have went with me either way, but you don't want to hear anything about that. Further proving my point of things returning from Battlefield 3, Air Superiority shall be returning into Battlefield 4 from this one trophy that's called Fledgling. Not even sure if I'm saying that right. It basically says you need to play a round of Air Superiority and on the new DLC China Rising, which kind of confirms it's making its return from Battlefield 3 even when it originally debuted in Battlefield 1943. Alongside that note, we only have one more trophy that actually talks about possible weapons and vehicles in this new DLC, and that is called Death from Above, basically saying you need to get one kill with the bomber. Now, it's no surprise that the H-6 Chinese Bomber is going to be making a scene into the Battlefield 4 China Rising DLC, as it's actually all over the poster, like literally. Now, we don't know which H-6 bomber is going to be used because there are multiple H-6 bombers. There is the conventional bomber, there is the nuclear bomber, there's the Renaissance variant, and there is a conventional bomber, another conventional bomber that's used for countermeasures generally. And then there is the H-6 anti-ship missile carrier bomber. But since we're fighting across the vast Chinese mainland, I really doubt that's going to be a viable option. So that's generally some of the new items we've heard from the China Rising DLC. Hasn't been confirmed if there was going to be any weapons in the China Rising DLC overall, any new weapons into Battlefield 4, but that's generally enough relevant information since we hardly know anything really about the China Rising DLC other than the fight across the vast Chinese mainland. Alright guys, it's a Bunny Dude. If you guys appreciated this video or liked it or anything in general, or you felt it deserves a like, or you felt the commentary quality was good enough for a like, then it'd be much appreciated if you guys left a like. I mean, you know, drop a like. And I want to take this time to go ahead and thank DigitalFoundry for letting me have their native 60 FPS Battlefield 4 multiplayer gameplay. It looks fucking awesome. Thank you, DigitalFoundry. Alright guys, it's a Bunny Dude. Peace.